It's Wednesday night. It's time for our live talk forum here in Virginia Beach, Virginia, at the Institute for Christ Consciousness and the Copper Dragon. I got reflection in my phone. Every time we seem to get a new phone, it seems to break, and we get all kinds of weirdo metaphysical things in the screen that you all are probably seeing. I'm just going to sage right now. It's me, Lynn Rene MacDonald, here for our live talk forum, 7:15 every Wednesday night. Thank you, Sophia. Sophia's got me a mug. And we're just lighting some sage and we're getting ready. Tonight, we're going to have questions for you from last week. We're going to have a bunch of things to talk about here in Earth World. I see everybody's not quite up here yet, so hopefully we'll be getting up. People getting up here in a few minutes. I'm sure we're going to do saging, and we're just going to clear the energy. I have Jennifer and Rachel with us. We have some people in our live studio audience here tonight. And we also will have you guys coming up. Hey, everybody. And you guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming, Sophia. And what is your name? Jennifer. We have Jennifer here tonight. So thank you for coming. And let's see. So tonight we're going to talk about a lot of different things. Just getting saged and ready to go. Okay. A couple of things I want to talk about are things that are happening in Earth World. I'm going to have to move my sage pot because it is smoking. It is smoking. There's always a reason for that. All right, let me get this moved. Hi, everybody. I see you all coming on here. Thank you all for coming. Get your questions ready. This show is about metaphysical. It's about metaphysical. Everything is metaphysical. Everything is earthworld, and everything is love, God, universe, angels. This is what the show is about, answering your questions, getting your solutions to anything and everything that you want to know about by working with love, energy, God, and higher knowing. Okay, this is what this is about. So if you can donate, this is a show where we do not charge you. So if you can donate, I see a lot of people have been donating more and more. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for donating. And you can also remember, donating doesn't just have to be money, energy. Tell people about us. Share what we do. We all work together to change this world and the craziness going on here, okay? So you can donate through sharing what we do by coming to the shop and, purchasing stuff with us or buying stuff with us and supporting us in that way. Also, we do internet business, so you can also order things from the shop as well. You can do appointments with us, with our practitioners. These are all ways that you can help support us and what we do, as well as donate, through our channels that Rachel will post, as well as, U.S. mail and, just sharing what we do. Again, replaying, sending out our live shows as well, and just sharing them with people but always from your heart. If you are not in your heart, then you are at a space that isn't in the healthiest, best space. Therefore, that space gets reflected in everything that you do. So if your heart isn't in saying, hey, I know these people, they do this, and I feel this might be something you would be interested in. If your heart isn't in 110%, you don't do it. You feel it 110%. Just like everything you do in your life must be governed from your heart. Doesn't mean you don't use your head. Doesn't mean all that stuff. I see everybody coming on here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. All right. I see Sophia back there. Thanks for coming, Sophia. Okay, so some of the things that I'm going to highlight tonight that we're going to talk about is talking about gold and silver, the economy, things that are kind of like mundane earth world, things that we really do need to be aware of. And if you haven't prepared, I had one of my clients talk to me this morning, and she said, well, when I read her energy and I got in her energy, I was feeling like she felt like she couldn't afford to get gold and silver because it's like $2,000 an ounce or close to that, anywhere from I think $1,700 to $2,000 for an ounce of physical gold or silver. And she was feeling overwhelmed, and she's like, I don't have any money. So we're going to talk about that and ways to work with the energy, right? All because most people or you think most people buy huge round coins, right, like this, or an ounce coin of gold and silver, for security in these times as their financial security. Not everybody can do that. So one of my clients brought this into my attention today, and so Universe is guiding me to talk to you guys about this so that you guys can have a plan, just like food and water and gold and silver and things in this world. And this is called Capricorn, right? Capricorn is your taskmaster in earth world. It is the governor of karma. You must prepare in earth world for everything, regardless. It's wisest to, guided by your heart, right? So you balance earth world, Capricorn, with the metaphysical, all that is love, right? Ultimately, God will always take care of you, but it's always wisest and a hell of a lot less stress, anxiety, if you are prepared. Do you see what I'm saying? So by preparing in earth world, it is one of your wisest things that you can do. So what does that mean? Stocking up on water and food and all the things that a lot of people are talking about on YouTube and on the internet. So as well as, what you feel in your heart, always be guided by God or love. So I don't just go by what's going on the internet or what other people tell me. I'm always talking to love. I'm always talking to universe. I'm always talking to God. Should I do this? And if I wake up in the morning and I feel right, or it feels right, then I do it. Whether it's get 5 cases of water or 15 cases of water or a box of canned food or whatever I feel in the moment, I'm always talking to love. Okay, always. So tonight we're going to talk about these things, how to buy, gold and silver, where to buy them, because a lot of people don't know, and there's a lot of different options, but and a plan too, because a lot of us feel, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed in these times, I really don't have the money, right? But what you don't know is that it comes in smaller pieces and you can buy it in different ways at different places. But if nobody tells us, then we don't know. And this is all the wisdom that universe has shared with me over the past 3 years that we started really going through this and before, and including lifetimes before. So we're going to talk about that a little bit to give you guys some guidance on how to do that for you. All right. Also, we're going to talk about the law and creditors and debt and banks because of what's coming in the future and what's going on and how to protect yourself, okay? So how to protect yourself from these things. As you all know, in the past, I had a lawsuit. Now, I don't want to say it's big because it really isn't big. It's a bullshit creditor fight or argument or disagreement, so to speak, in Earthworld. And we talked about it in Doing the Right Thing show, right? But we never really got to the whole completion of it. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that tonight and what is going on with debtors and creditors and banks and the crazy shit that is different, right? Because right now we are living in 2 separate worlds. We have talked about this on and off throughout all of our shows, right? So we're living in 2 separate worlds. We're living in the old world, Capricorn, Saturn, the old traditional ways, right? And conditioning. And then there's this energy in the center. And then over here, we live in the new world of love energy, our new dreams, our new life, and always working with God, universe, love, and always being in our heart has always been the way, okay? And working with love, the more you work with love, God, universe, and talk to angels, love, right? God, right? The more your life is going to be in alignment with where you need to go, and the best life you're going to live, the best life, okay? So that said, so what we're doing is we're going to be balancing, the old ways of Earth world, the new ways of love energy, and we stay in the middle, and we're going to talk about this lawsuit here and how to navigate what's going on in the now. Everything is about in the now. When it comes to your table is when you must deal with it, the now, all right? We may also talk about astrology transits as well and what's going on with the transit, because the transits in astrology affect you huge. So many people don't know. This lawsuit shit thing that I had going on here and the debt collectors, right? It literally goes with Uranus in the transit being on my descendant, okay, in the astrology. So it literally says lawsuits, trouble with the law, issues over here, right, and all that kind of stuff, right? And that's between, your descendant is between your 6th and 7th house in your astrology. Okay, just like your rising sign is between your 12th and 1st house, okay? This said, we're going to talk about these things, and I'm going to ask universe that we get all this done tonight, as well as answer your questions, any questions that you guys have from last week, from this week, anything that comes up, we're going to address these issues too. And I just want to say thanks everybody for coming. Let me see, do we have any questions about anything here? Jennifer, Rachel, anything that you think I should bring up or know about?
No, I think you covered it.
Okay, so these are things that have been going on in our lives as of recent that are all in alignment with the transits in astrology. As you guys know, we work with astrology, we work with all the tools of God or love energy to live our best lives, and we balance those things with earth world and metaphysical, all right? And no matter what happens in earth world, you always want to be prepared as you work with love energy, but you will always be fine and taken care of as long as you work with God or love or universe, okay? Everybody got that? Okay, that said, do we have any questions for tonight?
We do. We have Jake Walker from last week.
Okay, terrific.
He's on tonight.
All right. Hey, Jake. Hey, thanks for coming.
He said he has a big event for his business in the second weekend of October. Is there anything that I need to look out for with the stars? And then Jennifer pulled up his transit chart for that day, and his birthday is June 29th.
Okay, so this is right in the middle of his big event at work, which is like October 7th, 8th, and 9th of this year? Yes? Okay. All right. So we have Jake's chart here. All right. I'm just going to take a look at this and see what's going on. And this is for work, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What's going on for Jake with work, God, love? What is going on in his chart? Okay, Jake, you have your sun really close to your ascendant, so that's really neat. You got that? Thank you. We just had a little. Oh, we're having it again. We're dropping shit all over the place. All right. I see your sun is in your ascendant in your natal chart. Your ascendant is in Cancer. You're super intuitive and super gifted. When your sun is on your ascendant, your whole life to some degree is all seriously about you. Okay. Yeah. So, and that's okay, right? We all have different journeys and different missions. So what I'm going to do is the sun is about you. You have that in your 12th house, and it's on your ascendant. And let me see what's going on in your transits. Your part of fortune is in Leo, which is in the sun right now, so it's transiting through that, and that's in your 3rd house. Did he tell you anything about this event? Like what it was in reference to? Is it a seminar? Is it, is it just a business work thing?
He just said it's a big event for my business.
Yeah. I do feel that the part of fortune, because it's transiting, it's going to be, just leave it. It's like the 3rd time my ring flew off. I'm like, just leave it. All right. Thank you, Ray. Okay. So, I do feel like having your part of fortune in Leo, which is what you have here transiting, but you also have it. Okay, it already passed in the transit, but you also have it. You have that in your 2nd house and your 3rd house. So this is in Leo, which is great for abundance and communication, anything to do with the sun or you. So I feel like this is really going to be a good time for you. Your 2nd house is your self-worth, your value, your abundance, beautiful things, and the natural ruler is Taurus. Okay, so in your 2nd house, you have your moon in there, which is also Cancer. It's conjunct your part of fortune. So you have a lot of great things going on here for you in your chart, right? And Leo is about the sun. Now, when I look at these things and communication you have here in your 3rd house, so your 2nd, your 3rd, and your 1st house are packed with lots of cool stuff. However, let's see what happens in your 10th house right now. In your 10th house, in the transit, you have the moon conjunct Jupiter. Okay, so that's gonna make you more copacetic to the people. That's gonna be great for communication overall. The moon conjunct Jupiter, if you are in a healthy space of you especially, it's gonna be good, especially with this business trip, because whatever happens here, it's in the 10th house, which is about your career. All right, so this says good things as well, and it's in Aries, but it's also conjunct Pisces, so you're gonna be very intuitive in this time period as well, with all these things going on, and Neptune is in Pisces. But you do have to watch out about being disillusioned about people, what they're really saying, and this is something we're all going through in whatever houses it's in. However, the trip itself does feel good for you. You have Uranus conjunct your North Node in Taurus. Taurus is your natural 2nd house. That's in your 11th house. That's about your 11th house. The natural house is Aquarius. And what that is about your relationships with like the collective, groups, people. So this trip feels really good for you with what you have going on in your transit chart. And it's crazy because this is one of the things we're going to talk about tonight for all of us in the transit chart. Okay. So in your transit chart is the outside ring. Oh, private number. So could you take this and shut off my phone? Uranus is crazy. These times are crazy. All right. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to without showing too much on Jake's chart. I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a view into it. If you can see it, it's on Rachel's phone. There's a lot of stuff going on here. But the outside ring is all the orange planets, and that's your transits. And you can see where the transiting planets as well as the transiting houses are hitting his chart on the outside, okay? So this is for everybody to get an idea of what I'm talking about. So, but overall, Jake, this looks like a fantastic trip for you. Again, Saturn is in Aquarius too. So over and over, it says that this is about meeting new people. This is about expanding your business. This is about humanitarian work. This is about your career, your happiness, and over with the collective, like Saturn is the taskmaster, and Saturn is the ruler of the 10th house, and that's in Aquarius. And in your 10th house, you have Aries. Aries is about getting things done, but you also have Pisces, so it's super intuitive, so be aware, of what you're feeling, what's going on with your emotions, because this is super, super important, especially with Neptune and Pisces in these times. There's massive possibility for disillusionments. Again, this is in an unhealthy way. If you start to think crazy or think strange, reevaluate. Ask the universe to clear that. Ask God or love for the best way to be in place of that so that you nip this in the bud. But everything here over and over in your chart, in the transit, says over and over. Your transit Mars is in the 12th house, but it is also conjunct the IC, and it's almost conjunct the IC or within 10 degrees the IC, which is close, super powerful. So that means, and in Gemini is about communication. So you're going to be going and communicating, expanding. So either over and over and over, and all of these transits tells you the truth about what is going on. All right, with this workplace. In terms of what you're asking for this question over and over, I can see it in your chart, because that's how astrology works in the transit and both in your chart. What happens is over and over, the messages will come through. It's not just one placement. Like somebody will be like, I saw that Pluto was conjunct the sun and it says people can die. Well, there's a lot of other shit that can happen, right? That has to happen in the astrology, and you have layers in your astrology. So for big life events like that, where somebody dies, it'll be like when my father passed away. It was in my chart. It was in my sister's chart. It was in my mother's chart. It was in my brother's chart. It was in everybody's fucking chart in the family. And it's not just once that it's in there. All the signs, all that was in the astrology pointed to it, okay? So know this. When people say, oh, just like when they say, oh, this is my sun sign and this is me. And no. Your sun sign is what washes over all of you, but everything and all the layers in your astrology are who you truly are. Just like God is infinite layers of everything, all that is love. Same thing with us, all the people we know. Like people say to me, why would somebody do this? And I can't understand their psychology. Why would that be? Because it's infinite. People are infinite, just like their gifts, They're amazing and super amazing, and at the same time, they're also many times super challenged, okay? So, but it has to happen over and over and over for it to really manifest. So, Jake, this looks like a fantastic trip for you. Universe is telling me to tell you, make a plan. What is your goals? What is it that you want to do with this trip? Put it out there. Put it out there and work with this energy. Ask for this energy to work with you from love. Do you see? So you have all the power here. Just like me with the lawsuit thing. As soon as I found out they were trying to garnish my accounts and do levies and all this kind of shit, I'm like, okay, God, handle this now, please. Because I have the power with love. It may not be in the way everybody else thinks, but I trust the universe. And with that, I work with that energy, and it is me who creates what I want to happen. Or I can freak out. Oh my God, they're going to close my accounts. They're going to freeze my accounts. They're going to stop all this shit for me. And the old Lynn, just like everybody else out here in Earth World, oh my God, my credit's going to be ruined, and this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. And meanwhile, my soul is like this Vans bag over here, right? What does that say? Off the wall. That's what my soul is. Yep. Off the wall. Why? Because it doesn't believe in this earth world shit, because creditors and debt and all this shit is a lie. So they can't yank on my chain through my second house and make me feel bad about me. And I know the truth with God, because I'm always working with God. And when we talk more about this whole entire thing with my personal stuff with this lawsuit, but the truth is, the reason I'm telling you this is not just for right now and talking about these particular things and how they pertain to my life and what's going on to share with you, but also how the transit works for everybody. Like me having the Uranus conjunct, if you can see this, where was mine? Let me see. My Uranus is conjunct my descendant. And it's not that case with Jake because, again, it depends on your chart, where you are in the world, what's going on with you and your soul versus, but along with God and the collective and how those energies interact and affect you and the world. So this is what is happening. So this Uranus conjunct the descendant is creating the lawsuits and the bullshit and the garbage. And then it's right on the edge of, I'm not sure if it's Uranus. Let me just see where the Uranus is. Yeah, it's still in Taurus, right? So Uranus in Taurus, that's the second house. That's my self-worth. So, my self-worth isn't wrapped up in my credit score. My self-worth isn't wrapped up in what other people think about me. My self-worth doesn't give a fuck about this reality and the lies and the cheating and the garbage and the crap that they have been putting out there for all of our lives. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't have to work with this energy. I absolutely do. But instead of saying, fuck this, or dying, or getting upset, or feeling like my life is ruined and letting this consume me, what do? I talk to God and love about it. Okay, God, what's the best solution for me? How do I handle this? What do I do with the garnishments, with the wage shit and all this other stuff? How do I handle this, God? What is the best way? Show me this. Give me all the wisdom that I need, right? And I'm talking to God the whole time, right? And always let me do the best thing from love for myself and with all of this. So my answer may be different from you guys depending on what my soul's journey is. Like I said, we are all unique souls. So what's right or best for somebody, like our audience people, right, might not be what's best for me. This is why it is so important to work with universe. So you always do what is best for you from love. This is the whole key here. And everybody gets super intimidated by our old world conditioning about credit scores and garnishments and levies and wages, but the truth is that doesn't control you to get a loan. That doesn't give you things, and they'll tell you this in earth world reality because this is part of the grand plan to destroy everybody and everything here, and it's worse and worse and worse and worse, and never in my life has this happened before. So what does that tell you? If they're putting out garnishments and wages on your income and your shit, right, or trying to, right? What does that tell you? And then they didn't send any letters, and they're like, oh yeah, we sent you a letter, or you don't get the letter in time and the letter doesn't come, and then they've already taken the money or closed down your accounts. Right? You'll get a rudimentary education on this. It was fascinating, right? But me and my soul, because my soul is off the wall and it's totally fucking wild. It's like, okay, all right. It's like Gemini. It's like, you want to play? All right. So, and that's really what my soul came in here to do, so I can get to the bottom of the God's honest truth to help not only myself and my family and my people. You guys are my people, right? So I have the best school is Earth World. So by going through all of this, what happens? What do you think happens? I learn in Earth World School, and then I'm able to share all of these gifts with you guys. So if you have garnishments or debt issues or things, I can help you with these things. And how do we do that? By working with God, working with love, working with universe, always. Because then I'm always going to come out on top. Because this is the governing energy for all that is, regardless of what they tell you in Earth World. And as long as you are doing the right thing from here, and you be in alignment with this, with love energy, God, universe, stars, when you do this, you end up on top of everything in Earth World and everything in your life. It may not be the outcome that you think. Like most people would be freaking out. Like the old world me, I'd be like, oh my God, they've ruined my credit. They ruined my life. We've ruined this. They've ruined that. Truth be told, right? Unless you have an 800 credit score in this reality in these times, they ain't giving you a house. They ain't going to give you a loan. They ain't going to give you a car. And it's 3 times overpriced in this reality with the bullshit they got going on. You shouldn't be buying a new car. You shouldn't be doing this stuff, right? Why? Because in the end, when the economy crashes and tanks and it's coming like a motherfucker, what's going to happen is everything's going to be worth 2 to 3 times less than it is now. Yeah, truth be told. So universe is constantly protecting all of us as long as we work with love behind the scenes. But let's say you did do this, then you were supposed to do it, you see? But as a general rule, this stuff I tell you is all guided by universe and higher knowing for your best outcome with everything all of the time. My story is not exactly your story, nor is it exactly what is best for you. You want to know what's best for you? My soul will guide you from higher knowing, and that's what this show is about, to ask and you shall receive, and to bring the wisdom to you. But you have all this power for you. Same thing with you. Everybody does, okay? So this is why we're talking about this. But know this, that this is what the truth is about what's going on. And for my whole life, right, they've always, what is the word I'm looking for? Stopped you from, if you're an entrepreneur, from having a home because you weren't working for the man, right? You weren't working for them. They can't control you if you're a 1099er or if you're a sole proprietor. There's so many things that you don't know about, that nobody tells you about, but they want you to conform to their societal shit so that they can control you. And then you can have a house, then we'll approve you for a mortgage and all of that shit. But this is the old world ways, but now everything has changed drastically, right? If you don't have that 800 credit score, you're not getting shit. Look around and check out what other people have. There are exceptions to the rule, and this is a general rule. Remember, there are exceptions with God or universe. If you are supposed to have it, it will be so, okay? From love, all right? It's all part of your journey. Okay, so this said, you guys got to know about this 800 credit score, how they're not giving anybody houses, and before this, if you were an entrepreneur, it is, and everybody who's an entrepreneur or a small business owner will tell you that it is extremely difficult to get a house, to get a mortgage, to get a loan, to get these things that you have wanted. And this has gone on for years, but this is all the shit, just like the court systems, just like the debt shit, just like everything that's going on in our reality that has broken down is in truth of God or love, in a whole entire formula that it is. And this is why what is happening is happening. It is time. Darkness has absolutely 110% taken over everything here. And you can see it literally everywhere in your reality. And if any of you saw that Joe Biden fucked up speech, whoa, about all the patriots or the MAGA people and all the darkness behind it, and how there's an underlining darkness in our country, and it's these people. Do you know why they're saying that? Do you guys fucking know why they're saying that? Because the patriots or the people who are all about freedom are their biggest fucking threats. That's why they want to destroy people who want freedom. True Americans. That's why. Because in other countries where they're conditioned and they don't have the freedoms that America has had, that we grew up with, right? In those other countries, it's easier for those people, for the world government, to get them to conform. So they're making an attack. And it has nothing to do with Donald Trump, right? It really doesn't. It's all about freedom. It's not a personal thing with Donald Trump. It is about freedom, right? Americans are all about freedom. We grew up with freedom. And therefore, it is a lot harder to take that freedom away from people who live it. It's kind of like when somebody is really poor and they win the lottery, right? And they get all this money. It is easier for them to have a lot of money than when universe, let's say they're really wealthy and they lose everything, which is coming for so many people out here in this reality. It's a lot harder when you don't, once you had a car and now you don't. Do you see my point here, people? This is big shit, right? All right. So this said, this is really what's going on here across the board. They're trying to take everything from you. And this is why they're attacking the people who are all about freedom. That whole setup on that stage that Joe Biden was on, the dark red, what do you call it? The Marine type guys behind that kind of look like silhouettes of, let's say, Chinese soldiers, right? And then way in the back, and it's like all this darkness is part of the American flag behind him, right? But it's in the back. It's way in the back. And the whole entire screen is blood red on the right. What color is the Chinese flag? Anyone know? Yeah. No shit. This is some creepy ass shit. This is universe. I'm not making this shit up. It's right here in your reality. Ask God what this means. It's on my Facebook page. We put all this shit up to let people see the truth. Universe, God, love sends us messages in everything. That's why I'm telling you about the debt collectors and the creditors. They're now going for everybody's throats because they're trying to make you have nothing so that they can take everything away from you and control the living shit out of you. And as long as you have God or universe, right? Because they think you have nothing, then your government, what's going to happen is your government's going to come here and say, oh, we're going to give you a $5,000 stimulus and we're going to take care of you. It's okay that you don't have anything, but you have to sign over the rights to your house and the rest of your house or your car and your things. You going to do that?
And your children.
Yeah, right? Basically, and your children, right? Go shot your children, right? All right, clear that out, God. Clear this out. All right? Anyways, so you get my point here, though, right? So this is like serious toxic stuff, but it's all part of it. And if you will see it over and over, because Earth World shows you the truth in your reality. So my experience, which is right here in the transit, just like the stuff I told you about, I don't know how to stop it from being so shiny and reflective on here, but just like in the transit, like I talked about with Jake Walker, it is in all of our transits. Okay, so be aware of this and do not share your personal shit with everybody you know, because there's a massive darkness out there, and they will use everything they can, and it will, against you to get a hold of you. All right? And this is serious shit. Many of us are already experiencing this across the board, over and over and over. Are you guys aware of that?
Well, yes, Sarah Sutra just commented that she tried to get into a retirement home community.
Yeah.
And she was paying cash and they wouldn't take her because she didn't have an 800 credit score.
Yeah. See, and that's what's going on. I know a bunch of people, they're like, oh, I can't buy a house or I can't get an apartment. And this is what's going on. Trust the universe. It's not time, people. Don't take it as an assault on you. You too, Sarah. Don't take it as an assault on you. You know that it's God saying it's not time, baby. And when the market collapses and nobody has any money, then they're going to be coming to you and saying, well, maybe you could have, maybe we'll rent you this, and the rents are going to go down, and the house fees are going to go down, and everything's going to go down to what you call true market value. But when they can't rent it to somebody else, you're damn right they're going to rent it to you. And you just put it out there to the universe and trust God. Just like me, the reason I don't own a house, why would that be? Why would that be? Because it's not time. And everything, as crazy as what's going on in my life, as fucked up as many of you who know me, and we've done this show for like a year now, right? And many of you know me, and you know what's going on a personal level in my life, and all the shit that I've been through, because this year has been a massive fuckstorm, right? All the stuff that I've been through is the part of the grand design of my soul to bring me to everything that I ask God for. Everything. And I know this in my heart, and I trust that. So in my people space, I can sulk and say, well, I didn't get this house and I don't have what I want, and they didn't get me a car and they denied me for a loan. I just clear that shit out. Fuck that, because that is not a commentary on your self-worth. That's the bullshit of Earth World Society, our conditioning, the garbage that they put out you and they want you to believe. Why? So that you will conform. So that you will conform, right? Americans are freedom people by nature. And this is why, right? And this is so important for you guys to know, and why everybody who's in all these other countries of the past wanted to come to America. It is the idea of being able to live your dreams. That's what everybody wants, right? That's what love truly is. So this is what is happening out here. Know that. They're trying to stop you. They're trying to stop me. And there's a solution for all of us, right? If it doesn't happen for you and you put it out there and it's not happening, okay, God, clear my blocks. Let's take a look at the astrology. Let's do the energy work. Let's heal this. Let's change this. And let's create what we want to happen. And let me be cool and happy, truly, with whatever happens. And thank you, God, for that for us. Do you see? So you guys have all the power in this situation. Don't let that darkness fucking consume you. Because who the fuck cares about this? Because soon this won't even be real. And when I say real, meaning in their reality, right? This earth world belief system. And again, it's going to take time. So we're balancing two separate worlds, Capricorn's earth world, as well as the metaphysical and all that is God. And this is why universe said to me with this lawsuit thing, they said, well, you will take care of everything when it comes to your table. Well, this week it came to my table when my accounts were frozen. I'm like, aha. And my soul is so wild. It's like, oh, you want to play? Right? Most people freak out because they got two accounts, but God knows exactly what it's doing. And because of legal shit and wisdom being guided, I can't reveal everything I got going on, of course, because that would not be wise. Because what? Loose lips sink ships. However, right? Universe guides me to everything and already has taken care of everything because I'm always in alignment with love well before this attorney started researching my financial history and freezing my accounts and all their crap and not doing the right thing. Because the old world debt collectors would send you a letter and they would say, hey, and you'd call them up and you'd say, okay, let's work this out, right? Which is what they should have done, but they're going for the throat. So just be aware of this so you guys know, so you can make the best decisions. Talk to God, talk to universe, talk to love. all of the time. Listen to your heart. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. Just like everything you do in your life. So if you have $1,000 or $20,000 worth of debt, you wait for it. Because what will happen is if the economy tanks, we have a whole new world, and then you're screwed if you already paid that debt off. Do you understand that? So you listen to God, not the old world beliefs, not what people tell you out here. You follow your heart. You got guided by wisdom. You ask the universe what the best thing to do is, right? And if you want to, with this crazy personal shit, by all means, people PM me all the time. This is what I do. I will give you the best solution for you, but ultimately you make your best financial choices. I'm not here to tell you what to do financially or with your health. I'm telling you what I do, what I'm guided by the stars or God or love to share with you that is best for you. It is your choice in your soul and your human space what you do with this wisdom. And I have to say this, guided by universe and all this crazy earth world stuff that is going on. Do you know what I mean? I heard that.
I'm sorry.
You're fine, Sophia. So you guys understand what I'm saying here. So ultimately, I'm working it out with universe for the best plan. And my main goal here is it's crazy stuff, but God is really taking care of it. And I just said to them, hey, you know what? I'm going to pay this debt, not because this is the right thing to do. I already told you how I feel about it. I already given you all this stuff. And anytime I tell these people the truth about what scumbags they are and that this is their life as the attorney and the debt collector and how nasty they are, right? And I don't even say nasty. All I do is tell them the truth about what they're doing and how it's not in alignment with love and how they have an obligation to honor and respect people and do the right thing. If somebody owes something, you send them a letter, you talk to them and you try to work it out. But this has gone on since I went to court. They wouldn't take my payments. Do you know why they wouldn't work with me? Because they wanted to turn a debt that, let's say, was $500 into $2,000. $500 debt and then another like $500 debt or something like that. I can't even remember. I don't have the paperwork here. But ultimately, they want to crank up all the fees. They want to basically rape the people. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing out here in the economy with the inflation. Make no mistake about it. This is the shit that is going on. But a whole new world is coming and God has your back. And no matter how hard these times are, this is why what we teach and do on the show is so important and in our lives. Because this isn't about just the show. This is about doing this and living this and working with God and working with universe and being in your heart and constantly asking and working with that love energy for your best answers and tools and gifts for whatever you need. And so it will come from you, it will come from your friends, it will come from God in all ways, in all forms of all that is God or love. Because that's how it works. And when you're in alignment, no matter what crazy shit like what happened to me this week, which I get a fucking kick out of, because my soul is a fucking bear. Like I said, today's bag is Vans off the wall, and no, I'm not getting any money commission on that. I just picked the bag, and I had two bag choices, and one was like some elite crazy club, like I don't even know, like a Bahamas kind of thing, and the bag was walls off the wall, right? The Vans bag, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling off the wall today, so that's why I got this bag and not that one, because this one is more in alignment with my soul for these times and who I truly am. Okay, so that said, my soul is different and I accept that. That's all of us that makes the things that make us unique. But this is my mission, is to help people to bring things right up to the edge of where they need to be here in Earth World, so I can get the God's honest truth for you and all of us as to what is going on in this world. To what? To help us, to help myself, so that you can understand what you need to do, so you and free yourself from the fear. Because Earth World, by knowing is all the power. Wisdom is knowing. It is all the power. It is love, and that's where all your answers are. Not in the science, in wisdom, and wisdom can be part of science. But it is wisdom that it trumps everything, knows all, and is all. Okay. That said, these are some of the things that go along with Jake's reading. What's going on with us in our lives were the things that we were going to talk about. The laws, the creditors, the debts, the banks, right? And here's the deal. If you don't have any of the money in the bank, they can't take your money. They can't garnish your money. And when the banks collapse, like they did years ago, if you guys remember in Greece, the people were waiting outside at the ATM lines for like miles trying to get their money because they weren't wise, they weren't connected, or whatever their their issues were, right, they couldn't get their money out. All right. So it's wise to have cash in these times. Okay. And, but if you don't have any money in the bank or very little money and you only put in and take out what you need for your expenses, then when shit like the debt collectors come, they can't take shit from you. Do you see my point? Yeah. All right. So it makes it more challenging until you can straighten it out and work it out with God or universe as to what is the best solution for you. Because like with me, and I said, I'm going to pay it, not because it's the right thing to do. I'm going to pay it because I want these people out of my fucking life. I had enough of their bullshit. All right, really, that's why I'm going to pay it. And for me, it's worth $1,500. Absolutely, 110%. Right? Just like if I want somebody out of my life, I'm like, thanks God for me being free of them. Thanks God for me being free of this. And then universe will take care of them. And a lot of the time, I don't even have to bring the wrath of God to them. But know this. It is coming, because you can't be this dark and not have any fucking compassion or what do you call it, empathy for people, for human beings, right? We live in a world now where the heart space is so deficit, and so much of this is why they wanted you to get the inoculation, because now you're disconnected from your heart. And I swear to God, these people don't give a shit about you. Think about this. You know who these people are. All of our families and all the people who have been inoculated that we know have changed massively. And now we have to regroup and figure out what kind of world we're living in and who these people are. Doesn't mean we don't love them. We do. And we're sad and we have to grieve because they're no longer those people, right? And there's a lot of darkness in a lot of them. So when they were dark to begin with, or toxic or lower vibrational to begin with, they've just like totally nosedived and tanked out, right? And so these are the kind of people that are the debt collection, toxic, and that kind of shit. And you'll know who these people are, because the ones who are good or have retained heart space by their high-end consciousness, or whatever consciousness that is higher end, that is all that is them in their soul, that is their God space. If they have any kind of heart left in them, they will have compassion and they will try to work with you. All right. But your best bet is to not divulge any information about you unless it's guided by higher knowing of God, because everything they can, and with this kind of darkness, they will use it against you. Do you see? Because this is the world we are living in. And it's not about being pessimistic or being shitty. It's about being wise. Or, you got to just know what you're dealing with. It's kind of like you don't skip around in front of a lion with a steak, right? You just don't do it, because that's not a wise choice, right? Because then you become the steak, not just the steak. Right? So you get my point. Okay. That said, these are those times. So I want to tell you about the bank stuff. So you know about that. You want to get cash together, and you want to have special places to keep these things and not all in one spot as well. Okay. The other thing I'm going to tell you also too, since we talked about these things, and it's not about being nasty. It's really not about being shitty. It's about protecting you from love. We are not living in the same world anymore. So you must do things differently. Same thing with businesses. If you have a small business, you have to morph and do different things. And we've been talking about this. The new world is about humanitarian, and it is about entrepreneurs. And that's the very thing they're trying to destroy. Why? Because the entrepreneur has incredible freedom, and just my money experience with the banks and all this shit, and it tells you everything. Because then they can't garnish your wages, right? They can't do so many of these things with their toxic laws and rules, or it makes it so much harder for them in earth world belief systems. But this is really the shit that is happening. And you can see it everywhere, but nobody talks about it, because all you can see on the television is your mainstream propaganda of toxic. Why? So that you listen to it and you believe it. Just like Russia and Ukraine, and how they say that it's Russia and it's Vladimir Putin and all that shit. No, it's not. It's the United States and the secret government of China and the darkness underneath it all. Make no mistake about it. Since when has our government ever done the crazy shit that it's doing right now? And none of it is conducive to the best well-being of the people. How much more has to happen in physical earth world reality before people wake up and fucking see it? And it's happening. It's happening, right? Yeah, it absolutely is happening. All right, so be aware. The truth is always out here in Earth world. So the new world is about being an entrepreneur, living your dreams, right? Because that's about being in your heart. That's what freedom is. And if you want to work for companies, that's great. Then you follow your heart and you do what you need to do. Your heart will guide you to the best companies and the best people and the best businesses to work with. Do you see? Nothing is bad. It's about knowing overall what the consciousness energy out here is truly doing, as as well as what's going on with you and your reality and your dreams, and always working with God and balancing this energy by working with love. Okay? This is for all you guys. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about for tonight, and then I'm going to come back to the questions, is how to get gold and silver. A lot of like I had my one client here, and she didn't say it because she was like, this morning. And I've had several clients say things to me where they feel like they don't have money to buy gold and silver, and that's a great way to have security and to be able to trade if the dollar and when and if at some point the dollar comes and tanks out, because there's so many propensities of things that can happen in the energy of all that is God. Everything is always fluctuating and changing, especially in these massive transformative times. Okay. That said, I have a lot of clients and they feel bad. They don't have access to money, or they can't get the money, or they feel like they don't have money through their beliefs. And I said, okay, here's what you can do. Walmart works with a company called AppMex. Okay. So you can buy gold and silver right on the Walmart website, right? So it's reputable at this time. This is what Universe is guiding me to share with you guys. Okay. Also, know this, right? All because you can get I don't know if I have any kind of circular thing that would be like the size of a gold coin. All right. So let's say this here would be the size, this outside here. See this ring? I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I don't know if that works. What the fuck? Oh, sorry. Trying to get it on the TV thing here, right? See the circle? Let's say you have a gold coin, and that's like an ounce of gold, okay? And that's worth $1,700 to $2,000 right now in the cost that it is. And then all my people who say to me, Lynn, I can't afford that. Understandably so. But it's wise to have whatever gold or silver that you can get. Gold for your massive overall bottom line security, all right, for your assets, okay? In physical earth world, not in stocks. Now is not a wise time to invest in stocks or Bitcoin. Again, if you're a connoisseur of this, or you have a different kind of mission, again, you follow your heart. But as a general rule, here in Earth World, 73 to 78%, this is how it's working out. But you always listen to your soul. Just like, and when I talk about this rule as a general rule, this is Saturn's Earth World, basically like law of physics or law of universe, okay? So if 20 of us get on top of a 20-story building and we all jump off, right, most of us are going to die. That's how it works in Earth World, right? But there'll be one or two people who have a different journey, and they'll get up and walk away, or one will go in the hospital with just a broken leg. Do you see my point? Okay. That said, it gives you an understanding of how the general rule of Earth World works here. The 73 to 78% is this general energy for how things pan out in Earth World traditional vibrations of love energy that most of these people are in. Then there's the high-end consciousness, and this too is why the inoculations affect people differently, as well as how many you've had, right? Just like with a twin flame girl, a girl who had a twin flame and it was supposed to work out, and the gentleman got inoculated over and over and over, and now he's not interested in her because through time, and this was over the course of, let's say, a year, through time, they become more and more removed from their heart space, all right? Because this is the shit that it does to your soul. So this person is not the same person, and now the destiny has changed. And she said to me, well, you said we were going to be together. Well, you were. Well, the same is true with some of my clients who thought they were going to have babies and were super affluent in having babies. Now they're being severely challenged, right? Because they went and got the inoculation. And again, it's unique to each one of us, and that's why you always work with God, and you can create anything that you so desire from love, but you must do the work. You must be authentic. You must work with love to get the best outcome for you, right? So people who are going and having babies, and they're like, you said, Lynn, that I would be able to have a baby, and I can't get pregnant and all this shit. And I said, I told them, I said, hey, don't get inoculated if you want a baby. Don't do it. Because why invite those challenges? And even if you have one, what's going to happen in the future? You're doing a crapshoot that really, do you really want to do that? You want to put it out there to universe that, this kind of propensity for toxic to happen, right? And for higher end souls, it'll work out in a more positive, healthy way, because there is the ability of the magic of the soul to work through this, as well as there's different systems in homeopathic and holistic medicine, vitamin, herbs, minerals, energy work, working with God, working with universe to change all of these things so that people who are inoculated can have children. And again, it depends on how many inoculations that divide you from your heart, because remember, it is your heart, it is passion that brings creation in any way, shape, or form. And babies are the best evidence of that in the world, right? Yeah. Yeah. So going back to this helps to explain how universal law has everything, right? At a certain propensity for us all. There are exceptions. There are higher end God energy souls, and then there are some really, really dark souls. And depending on the space of God you're in, right, is where your destiny and your literal manifestations in this reality bring you to in your reality. Okay, so I hope that made sense. Thanks God for it having made sense in that last line as well. And with all of this, let me just see. So this is all super important stuff, and bringing us back to the gold and the silver. I love it when people interrupt me. Only my sister. Shanti the unicorn,
Shanti!
right? Shanti! All right. So going back to the gold and silver, and my clients or my people or us people, all of us who feel like we can't afford it or we won't have enough money, right? You can buy gold and silver in little gram pieces. And I bought this with me today to share with you, right? To give you an idea. See these tiny little blocks? That's the size of a gram. A gram of gold can run you $75 to $100 a piece. Therefore, you can go and buy a piece here, a piece there, each week, every other week, once a month, right? You can buy a half a gram of gold. And the nice thing about half grams with gold and silver and grams is that they're more expensive overall than buying a whole entire coin. But in the moment, a lot of people can't afford the money to do that, right? So by buying little bits and pieces, you'll have great tools for trade if and when, okay, the dollar tanks out, because really all of this isn't a question of if, it's a question of when, through time. Again, Saturn's Earth world, father time. Saturn is father time, okay? All right, so that said, like this is 100 pieces, a whole sheet of this. You could break off these little pieces, because if you have a $100 piece of gold, right, it's, and let's say it was just worth that $100, that's easier to buy groceries than with a $1,700 coin. And easier for people to make change, for people to trade. So there's lots of reasons I'm talking about this to help you guys as well. And if you don't have any money, you stock up cash on the side. If you get 20 extra dollars, put it somewhere safe. Put it in a safe envelope. And don't keep your money in your traditional spaces where you would keep it. Ask the universe, ask love, where do you put it? What do you do with your money? Where is it safest and best? And never in the banks, not in a safety deposit box, not anywhere that you can't get to it and that you don't have control of it. Does this make sense? So remember this. And where would that be? You ask love, you ask God, you ask universe, where the best place for you is. Right? You can always PM me and I'll give you solutions, and then you take with this from wisdom where you want to go with it. Okay, so does everybody understand that? And it doesn't just have to be this kind of gold. There's really lovely things that, and it has, and gold or silver. You want to invest in both, because silver is great, especially for trading, and the value really is going to go up massively. And they won't tell you what it's really worth. But know this: all the central banks are hoarding this. Okay, are hoarding gold and silver. Why would they be doing that? Yeah, I want this. Thank you. Why would they be doing that? Yeah, because they know what they plan on doing. Fuck yeah. So pay attention to what's going on and feel it in your heart. If it's not the truth, you're not going to feel good about it. And if you should do it, like, you'll feel really good about it. Do you understand that? And sometimes you'll go, I don't know. That means wait. That means hold off. That means clear stuff out. That means, talk to God. So there's multiple reasons. If you don't feel it 110%, you don't fucking do it. You wait. You talk to universe, and you listen and feel in your heart what is right and best for you. What? Always. Okay? And talk to God. Okay? So I wanted to share with you, and there are brands, right? There are different brands, and you wanted to go to reputable sites. All right? You can go to the APMEX. There's some other sites out there you can Google that are your traditional really big gold and silver sites, but you can also buy it locally at your local gold and silver or coin shops and coin dealers as well. And you can get little pieces and bigger coins, and you can get $500 coins, you can get $600 coins, you can get $800 coins. So you can get $100 pieces of gold and silver, just like I said. Or you can get $50 pieces, a half a gram. But by the end of the year, let's say you bought 1 gram each month. Well, now you have $1,200. And let's say, a gold coin is worth, even though they say it's worth in this reality $1,700 to sometimes $2,300, right? 1 ounce, I think, is, if I'm not mistaken, and I might not be exact on this, it's worth 1 gram is, I think, 30 grams equal 1 ounce, if I'm not mistaken. And the deal is, if 1 ounce is worth $14,000 to $15,000, and they're not going to tell you that, right? And if the economy tanks, who knows how high that could go, right? But this is why it's your security, all right, for multiple different reasons, okay? Not just, the parts that I'm talking about here. Research it. Start learning about this stuff if you don't. But if you purchase just one piece of this stuff, right, one little piece, right, maybe one piece of gold, one piece of silver, 2 times each month, and all of a sudden you're going to have 12 pieces. And think about that. Just like if you had 1 gold coin and it's worth, $15,000 secretly behind the scenes, they're not going to tell you that. And what's going to happen when the economy tanks is people are going to freak out, and then gold and silver prices shit is going to hit the fan, and nobody's going to be able to get it. And then you're sitting on even a more gold mine in this moment. So it can go up, it can go down, and you will know in your heart whether you should sell it, whether you should keep it, what you should do with it, whether you should get a piece or not. But a little bit at a time adds up. Do you see? And it's worth way more than they're telling you, because if they told you the truth about what it was worth, you'd be running out there and buying it anyways. Do you see? And that's not what they want you to do. They want you to be destitute. All right? They want you to have nothing, right? Because isn't that what they said? New World Order. You'll have nothing and you'll love it. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, World Order. Because that's truly how it really is. We're all about freedom. That's what your soul is naturally about. Really, you guys know that. So this is the latest stuff I've been guided to share with you. Again, there are different dealers. If you need to know more of them, you can PM me and I will get you the names. But definitely Walmart is a nice way to do it in your everyday energy, and that AppMex is pretty good. And then there are other ones, right? But they're going to be legitimate. And then research your coin dealers, that are local, because you never know when somebody's fucking shady. And ask God and pray on it always, and work on your stuff so you get the real deal. And work on everything all the time, okay? From love in the purest form. All right, so you get all the God's honest truth of what you need to do and get. And that's how you do it. Yeah, you want to know what the truth is? You ask God for it. We always talk about this, you guys. You know it. You know it. Okay, so this should help you guys. Huge. For these times coming, with the debt collectors. Remember, if you don't pay your debt, look at the U.S. government, right? What are they doing? They're so fucking under debt. I mean, in massive amounts of debt, and they're taking all the tax people's money and they're sending it to Ukraine. I'm like, are you fucking high? What about the people who are out here? So when you tell me that they're not trying to destroy these people out here, there's nothing you can tell me that's going to convince me any different. Not with the way everything is rolling out here. There is absolutely nothing. And here's the government or the societal systems shaming you for your debt and your shit. Is your debt $450 billion trillion? Is it? Did you do that? It's so fucking stupid is what I'm saying. It makes no sense. But they're going to condemn you and persecute you and talk to you like you're a piece of shit. No, fuck you. You're the pieces of shit who made this bullshit system. There you go. Truth be told, just like the healthcare system, just like the schooling system, just like what else is there? Everything that's going on, really, truly everything. The healthcare system, the schooling system, the government. We've talked about all these things. The financial system, all of it. All of it. Truth is right there in front of your face by what's happening. But how hypocritical, right? Hypocrisy. How hypocritical that the government is pissing away all your money, but you're bad and you should pay up. And we're going to take you to court. And then we're going to take your money away. Right? But it's okay that our government is doing that and they're taking all your tax money and they're fucking you. That's okay. You don't matter. You're the American people. You don't fucking matter. Humanity doesn't matter. That's what they're telling you. You don't fucking matter. What matters is New World Order and what they got planned for you. Nah. It's not going to go down that way. So the more people we get out there and we teach and speak the truth, and the more we work with God or love and tell them the truth about everything that's going on out here. And please, if you don't agree with me and you don't believe what's going on, please talk to me. Tell me, because I will give you guidance and wisdom from universe, and I will tell you and share with you their universe, angels, their love, their response to anything that you don't believe, to show you the God's honest truth. And you can do this with me. You can do this with yourself, because my job is really to help everybody. My job is to help me first and foremost from love, and the people that I love, which is you guys, my family, right? And this world, because this is what we came in here to do. We came in here to stop this darkness. And remember, this darkness is not your friend, and it will never be your friend. Even the people who sell their souls to the darkness, consciously, subconsciously, or however they do it, the wrath of God always comes for them, because you don't escape your karma, not ever. And it's a bitch. It's a bitch. If I think about all the shit that I went through this year and all the hard times, and I think about all that and all the sickness and all the stuff, right? And I can say, well, this year was a bitch for me. There's no doubt about it. But I work with God, and I know why this has happened. I know exactly why this has happened, because I ask God for incredible things like this show, like to help you guys. Because I said, if I can't teach or tell people that God's on his truth, I got no business doing this. Why? Because no one's going to listen to anybody who doesn't speak the truth. You're going to know in your heart that it's bullshit, right? And that's why you guys are all on here, because you know in your heart that God's on his truth. And that's what we do. And that's what we teach. And anything that's out of alignment with this, like if you don't believe me, or you don't believe this, or you don't believe that, you ask God, you ask love, and the truth will come in. And not only will it come in once, but it'll come in over and over and over and over, to the point where it smacks you in the face 1,000,000 times till you fucking get it. So be it in this lifetime or another, it will happen. Truth of God, right? Truth of love. Okay, that said, I'm going to move on to questions. Thanks for listening. I think we covered all this stuff. We kind of rolled right into it through Jake's questions. So thank you, Jake. You're going to have a great time on your trip. I feel it's going to be super abundant. I feel like some new doorways, new connections, new people meeting are going to happen. It's all in your chart, really. I see it over and over. And so good things are coming. Absolutely great things are coming for you. Okay, and that's going to happen on that weekend, and it's going to keep on happening as we keep vibrating higher and higher, working on our souls, and listening to our hearts and working with God or love. Whole new world. All these new doorways are now opening and have been opening, depending on what space of God you're in and what you ask God for, right? So all of my challenges have come in because I ask God for huge things, and I know with the work that I do, that you cannot have incredible things at the level that I have asked God for, or level meaning bigly, huge, right? Incredible things. You can't have those things, and you can't have those things if you do not do the work. And sometimes that means going through some tough ass shit here in Earth World, and that's how it works for us to truly get the understanding of what it's like, and not so much to say the lessons, but the understanding, the gifts and tools that come with living through these things in Earth World. A whole new perspective, a whole new idea, a whole new way, new doorways opening, wisdom, all kinds of magic comes in and opens up because of these experiences. But they always happen because of what we ask God or love for. That's the free will. Ask and you shall receive, and that's how you create, right? So I ask God for huge things, but when I asked, and this is why my old shaman used to say to me all the time, and I will probably repeat this many times, she would say, Lynn, be careful what you ask for, because it will come true. It will come true. And you don't know what is all wrapped up and tied into that to get to that space. You just think, oh, I want to be this guy over here, and I'm going to have these things. But little do you know, there comes sometimes some great potential for suffering, for going through some very difficult times to get to this space over here. Yeah. So be careful what you wish for. But the more you work with love, the more it's going to be an easier path. Because just like me going through all this shit this year, and I'm still going through it, but I'm still working with God, right? It's that incredible Aries perseverance that gets us through. And if you don't think you have it, you ask God that you do. You ask love that you have all the tools that you need for whatever it is that you're doing, for everything in your life and whatever you need. Just like me with the debt shit and this. And I can't even believe that I was like chuckling about it because it's so insane, right? And I'm laughing about it because my soul is just a little bear, and I'm like, and it gets fascinated to see what's really going to happen in Earth World and what it should do and what we should do. And it pulls apart all the pieces so that we know the God's honest truth about how to handle everything, no matter what comes our way, no matter what, right? And it does that, by working with God or love. And that's for all of our gifts, okay? Okay, that said, we're going to move on again to your questions. I just want to see what time we're at.
8:20.
Okay, 8:20. So do we have any more questions from last week?
No, we're from last week, I believe, right?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. How about this week?
So I thought we'd start with Jennifer.
All right. We're going to start with Jennifer here tonight. She's in our audience. All right. Jennifer, what's this?
That's my chart.
Okay. What would you like to know?
Okay, so I purchased my first house.
Okay.
I
Fantastic.
have this job that I've always wanted.
Okay.
I moved here. I don't know anybody. I saw it online. I was like, I want it here. Now that I'm here, I'm kind of like, what the hell am I doing? One.
All right.
Two, like I said, I have this great job. I'm working there since like January. But I have these employees that are just driving me up the wall to the point where I had to drive to the beach, and that's how I ended up here. And I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's accidental. If it's on purpose, then I have to take action. If not, I have to be more patient, but my patience is waning.
Okay. All right. So Jennifer is somebody from our live audience tonight, and she is saying she's talking to me about her life and the wonderful things that have really happened right now. Right now, she's got a wonderful new job. She just bought a house, right? But she's discovering that she's having some challenges with the people, right?
Well, yeah, I work virtually, so they came with me.
You work with what?
I work virtually, so they came with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're all living here now too?
No, they're everywhere.
Okay, so they like work from home and you all work together, but they're all part of your team.
Yes.
Okay, so you are having some challenges. Thank you.
Bring it back.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
She sees that I'm having like a phone fuck
it's
up. I
just,
can't pull up her
you
screen.
know,
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, lately I've been feeling challenged and
Okay.
I'm having to correct more often than I'd like.
Okay. Okay, so basically I feel like what's happening is these people are suddenly non-copacetic with you, right? And your energy. With your company, and this isn't a prejudice, I'm not judging anybody. Do you know if there was like required inoculations or what?
There is.
There is, yeah. See, and so did they require one or multiple?
I think just the one.
Yeah, because this is a big chunk of those challenges. You understand? So, because it does change everybody. The fact that you've been here this long and sat on this show, this tells me that even if you got it, you're a higher end consciousness and it's not going to affect you in the same way that it affects them. Does this make sense? Mm-hmm. But it doesn't mean that it might not be a wise course for you to do things to change this if you need to address it, depending on what comes up with your health in the future. Does this make sense to you? Mm-hmm. Or your life, okay? That said, I know. All right. Sorry about that.
It's okay. There you go.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, this is on Astro Dienst. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes,
Let me see.
I didn't know which ones you used.
Okay. Can you do me a favor, Jen? Could you pull up her chart on the one that I like, Astro Seek, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to do the transit. Okay? The reason we're going to do the transit is because the transit in your astrology is what is happening in the now, right? Just like the planet Uranus is on my descendant, and that's the energy of that is going to bring in more lawsuits and challenges, just like I've been going through. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's in between the 6th and the 7th house, your descendant. So let's say it was in Pluto or in the 8th house, then it could mean tax problems and lawsuits with that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it depends on so many different things about what's going on in your natal chart and in the where the planets are now. How each thing hits your chart or your soul energy is how it's going to affect you in your reality.
Okay.
Okay, just to give you an idea. Does everybody here understand that?
Mind if I enter it? I don't want to. Thank you.
She doesn't want to share her stuff with the world, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then I will give this to you, and then Jen can hand that to me. Okay? Yeah, not a problem. Okay. Oh, I got a mug. Look it's Christ energy. It's Christmas mug. All right. So let me get my water here. I'm going to put my water in my mug. All right. And Jennifer is just going to pull up her chart with the transit in the astrology. Okay. So, and I'll tell you what's going on based on that, because this is part of it. We're all going through these challenges overall. Okay. Just to let you know, so everybody else knows that too. So the people that you once knew, that you relied on, are going to be even more challenging because they can't follow through. They're disconnected from their intuition, you got it? Yeah. In the way that they were not before. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, you would rely on somebody, and then all of a sudden, somebody who could get the job done suddenly can't. Do you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now you have to kind of relearn all of these people in their new spaces. Yeah, I know, because they're now different. Do you see? Yeah. How do you do that? You ask universe for the best tools for that. Okay. And I'm gonna evaluate or take a look at your chart. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Not a problem. Again, not unlike Jake Walker's, the 10th house is your career, because everything feels fantastic for you. Although I do feel like you're going to have to get rid of some people because they can't function. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's at least 2 or 3 that you're not going to be able to work with anymore, and they're just going to not be able to show up to the game or get the job done over and over and over, and at some point you're going to have to get rid of them. You know who they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Well, the ones from today, they were my favorites, so I'm kind of shocked. These are the ones I could rely on.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this is a phase.
Yeah.
For them.
Right. And we'll take, like I said, we'll take a look, because your transit is going to show you, right? Once Uranus gets off my descendant and moves away from that, it's less likely for me to have those challenges. Okay. Okay. Let me just see here. And usually it'll come up in a bunch of stuff. Whose is this? Okay. I'm like challenged technologically.
Other Jennifers.
Yes, the 2 Jennifers. Oh my God. Okay. Let me take a look at her chart here, and I'm going to just cancel. I'm just going to pull this up so they can see your chart, but not your birth date and your name and stuff. You okay with that? Okay. All right. So just so you know, so if you guys can see the chart, the outside circle is the wheel of the transit and where the planets are, and the houses are where it hits each sign, just FYI, so everybody can see it. Okay, just to give you an idea. I know it's small, but she wants to remain anonymous, which is wisest in these times if you can help it. Okay, now we're going to take a look. So one of the first places is I feel like this job is yours. You love this job, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I feel like this is totally your career. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go instantly to the 12th house. Okay. In your 12th house, your MC is in Scorpio, and it governs the 10th house. So Scorpio is your cusp, but also Sagittarius. All right. So you're all about doing the right thing, but you're also about getting to the truth and no bullshit. Do you know that? Yeah. And so because this is in your 10th house, this is who you are. Okay, you could change this by working with God, but the question is, would you want to? Do you see? You don't want to change these good things about you, do you?
I think so.
No, because Scorpio forms long-lasting, powerful bonds. And that's what you really had with a lot of these people. But with the disconnect of inoculations, now those bonds are broken. And these people are different. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you will see that more and more. So it is bringing challenges in here. And it's crazy. Right now in the transit, there's nothing going on here, but in your south node, and when I look on here, yeah, there is. Okay, I'm just looking at these numbers here. Your south node is in the transit between the 9th and 10th house, and it's kind of conjunct your MC, okay? Your MC represents your career, your destiny, your dreams, okay? And so this is about past life stuff, the past coming back to you. All right, this is about your new career, your dreams. And if you look at it, it's opposite in Taurus in the 4th house, the 3rd and 4th house, right on your IC is your North Node and Uranus. So this is about your dreams happening, but this is also about challenges and explosions within these spaces. All right, within these places, both on a personal level as well as in your career. The nice thing is, let's see, that you don't have a massive amount of crazier stuff going on in the transit. I'm going to look around here because I do see your 2nd house. You have Pisces and you have Aries. So I feel like you're in a good space with that. I'm just going to take a look at anything else going on here. Okay. Here it is. Here's the answer. The sun is in your 8th house, and that's in Virgo. Okay. And that again is Earth world. That's about day-to-day work, productivity. So there's massive transformation going on here. Do you realize that? In your job. with your relationships, right? With your people and with work code of ethics across the board. Are you aware of that?
No, but okay.
Okay. So because the 8th house is about transformation, it's Scorpio again. So each of these things tell you over and over what's going on here. Okay. So your sun is in Virgo, and your house of Virgo is about your health, your everyday stuff, your everyday work life. The sun is you. So there's massive transformation that is going to be happening and is happening because of this in your soul to help you see the God's honest truth, and your whole code of ethics in working with these people is now going to have to change, and it's driven in by your soul and the transits that your soul called in. So this is what's going on. Okay, how you handle this and work with this is entirely up to you and what you want to do. The question becomes, do you want to look for a new job? I feel like no, you just started your whole life here. So I feel like you're going to work with this. Hold on a minute. I feel like you got to give it some time, like 6 to 8 months, but you will have to replace these people, and some of these people, you'll have to make those choices. I don't feel like you'll have to replace all of them. In fact, with this, I feel like other stars that you worked with that you didn't see were stars before, because these other people were able to do that. Once they drop off, this is going to give these people an opportunity to come in and shine. Give them that chance. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm just telling you what universe is telling me to share with you from what's going on here. All right. And then you have Saturn. All right. Your transit Saturn is in Aquarius, and it's also within 10 degrees of the moon. Again, it's in your first house. So this is about transforming over and over again your work life. Saturn in Aquarius is about the new world. You've heard of the age of Aquarius, right? So how are you going to change and morph? How are you going to work with God, or how are you going to work with love? Because you are going to have to. Aquarius is about your headspace, okay? It's about your intellect. How are you going to work more in a space of love and differently to change this? Because this is where the new world is going. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have a question for me or anything with it?
No.
And again, it's over and over, and it's in your first house. So you're going to go through massive transformation. This isn't just about you. This is what's happening in the collective. This is for all of us. These are some of our greatest life challenges. But at the same time, universe is going to bring you great things. They already got you a house. They already got you this fantastic job, really, right? And so lots of good things are happening for you. I feel like there's been abundance for you too. So with every challenge that you are able to go through, they will reward you. Do you understand that? That's how Saturn works, okay? Saturn is in it for the long haul. You have the ability to keep on being a star, but just like all of us in this world, we will have to morph our businesses, our dreams. What was happening before and how we did business before is now changing. And it doesn't mean we throw everything in the garbage. It means we work with love, God, universe. How do I change this? How do I work with this? What are the answers? Do you see what I'm saying? And the answer is always, especially for the new world, being in your heart. So brainstorm from your heart. This works with this. Do you see? You know how to do it. I know you know how to do it. Make sense?
Okay.
All right. And if you don't, ask love that you do. Ask God that you do. Ask angels that you do. All right. Yeah, and again, here it is again. In the 12th house, which your south node is about the past, right? Getting down to the deepest, most intense stuff to heal in you. So this is going to tweak you the fuck out. Does that make sense to you?
So that doesn't sound pleasant.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. But it's really for your best well-being to release some of our darkest fears, our darkest stuff, our stuff that has been buried in our soul for lifetimes. That's why Pluto is transiting your 12th house in Capricorn. Again, it's over and over these messages. Do you see? Go ahead.
So how do I mitigate the unpleasantness of a tweak?
All right. What you do is you ask love to be free of it and put the best way to be in place of it. Very simple. Right? You can also work with Earth World tools. This is what the show is all about. I know this is your first time here, but this is what we do. Anything I want, I ask God for, and so it is. And the more you do this, like not finding your keys, I ask God for my keys, I ask God for my parking space. So you can also do this with metaphysical stuff. Do you see?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it. Let me just see if there's any other tools in here for you. Also, you can handle it in Earth World. Make sure that you take care of you. Do things for you to love you, right? Nurture you. Like if you need to ride to the beach, then you go to the fucking beach. Right. You see? And you cleanse yourself with the water or whatever you need. Sunshine, whatever you feel, right? But be good to you. Also, They're telling me one of the best ways to do this, to get the best ways for people to work, is to create an environment from love, even if they are not in that environment. Do you understand?
Okay.
So how do you do that? Find ways to reward them and make it like going backwards. To give you an idea, back in the 80s, I was married to a man who worked for a company called MCI. Many of you people might know that. And back in those times, right, they would reward him with all kinds of bonuses and shit. In fact, we got like $5,000 to spend at all these big supermarkets, or not supermarkets, but retail stores like Macy's and Nordstrom, thousands of dollars, because they rewarded him with this stuff. It doesn't mean that you have to come and do that, but I'm using this as an example to give you ideas. Little tweaks and perks and rewards for the people will mean huge things for them. In other words, this will help them want to change the things that need to be changed when you talk to them. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And these are tools in Earth World that you can use. And this is going back to valuing your people, honoring your people, respecting your people, old world code of ethics, right? Because when my ex, right, got all those things, and we went on shopping sprees, and he got all these bonuses and all these beautiful things, whatever it was all kinds of stuff. Sometimes it would be this, or a gift card to, let's say, Starbucks, or whatever the hell it is that is going to ask universe for those things. Do you see what I'm saying? That comes from love, and it was authentic in your soul, right? Ask universe for all these things. Start researching stuff. Get on the internet. What are great ways to be good to your people? Right, from love, because then you're teaching them how to honor, how to respect, and they will do the same for you. And this will also open the doorways of getting them to do their work differently. But this is also about you wrapping your head around this, and that's your greatest transformation, to not conform, but to change, to work with you for the new world, for your greatest dreams, because you have the propensity to do incredible things. You will probably leave this company, have your own company into the future if this is not your company, okay? Or have multiple companies, and this is going to lead you to being one hell of a powerful businesswoman and being able to teach people all different kinds of strategies, things that you're going to tap into, all that is God, that is love, into the future, these new doorways. And you may not be able to see these, because like when I get in your energy, it goes, oh, yeah, oh yeah, I feel it. You know what I mean? But we're all, in your defense, we're all going through it. So they've given you these tools. Ask love how to do it. Ask love for all the best solutions. Ask love to speak through you when you speak to these people. Ask love to handle it. Ask love that the work gets done. Ask love that it is the best job. Ask love for the best relationships. Ask love for the best people. You have all the power here. Do you see? Yeah. You can go, oh, and the more you do that, the more of the things that you don't want to happen keep on happening. Do you see? Yeah. So these are tools not just for you, they're tools for me too, right? Because when I rag on my people, then they feel bad, and it creates more toxic stuff for me. You know what I mean? Same kind of thing. So does this make sense to you?
It does.
And you can see it literally. You look up Capricorn, you look up Pluto, and where all the placements are in your chart, how they relate over and over. So that's what tells me, on a solid level, that you can see here in Earth World, in the astrology, right here in your natal chart and in the transit, what's truly going on. Do you see?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
I did have one other question.
Sure.
If you don't mind.
She has one more question. Yep.
Okay. So like I said, I was at the beach and asked for a sign, and I saw that, and it ended up here. I don't know if you can see that.
Cool.
Right? Ended up here. And
see, but you're already on the path. You've been on the path. Go ahead.
So I had a good friend of mine pass. You just all said her name 3 times. Her name was Shanti.
No. Get the fuck out of here. Shanti must be here.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's no accident. Did you hear that, guys? Are you okay if I share that? Jennifer here had a good friend that just passed, right? And we are sorry. And guess what? The friend's name is Shanti. And my sister, we call her Shanti the unicorn, okay? Which is crazy. And there are no accidents. Again, universe guides you to where you need to be. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but also this tells you that your friend is all around you. Okay, so if you could pull that up one more time. Sorry. And what's so funny is the sign said Jen, and Jen is Shanti the unicorn. And Jen is also you. Do you see? Yeah. So over and over, universe is connecting these things for
funny.
you. Do you say?
Yeah.
Which is really super cool. All right. So, yeah, that's really neat. Okay. All right. So you wanted to explain to everybody, because I'm sitting here going, other than the gen, is it just the gen, or is there more to this for you?
No, I literally just asked for a sign, and I looked, and it said Jen for Congress. I was like, okay, that's a sign.
Okay. All right. So here it is. Here's the sign. And what does the sign says? The sign says Jen on it. Okay. Yeah. So she said that was a sign for her. And that literally kind of brought you here.
I got here, and then she was closing up, and I talked to her, and she brought me in here.
And her name was Jen. And there's the answer. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? And then your friend's name is Shanti, and we have Shanti the unicorn, who is also Jen. Okay. So what can I help you with?
I was just wondering if there was if you saw anything else there
with her. How long ago did this happen?
It happened November 5th
of last year.
Yeah, it was also my daughter's birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, let me see. What's the God's honest truth? What is her birthday? Do you know?
Shanti's?
Mm-hmm.
Shit. It was, when was Mother's Day?
May.
May.
Is it Mother's Day, May? Is it May 2nd?
I want to say it's later in May.
It's
yeah, I thought it was like the 17th or the 18th, but they might change it too. Like Easter or another holiday.
I would
I
say
don't
it's
know,
like
it was around Mother's Day.
Okay.
58.
So, okay, yeah, so she has her sun sign will most likely be either Taurus or Taurus Gemini, depending. Okay.
This year's Mother's Day.
Okay.
It sounds about right. It's around there.
Okay, so it's in the beginning of May. So it goes April ends Aries season and goes into May for Taurus. So Aries, Taurus. So she definitely comes in as being a Taurus energy, and then after that comes Gemini. All right, so she definitely comes in as a Taurus energy. All right. So do you have any questions that you want to ask her? What's the God's honest truth? God, can you please bring her in now, please, for assistance and healing and everything we need from the best space of love, and clear any blocks or anything toxic with all this that would stop that from happening, and let us be happy with all the messages and whatever gifts you bring us. All right, what she's doing is she's telling me she's coming to you in dreams. Are you aware of that? Yeah. Okay. All right, so she's telling me this. Are you journaling your dreams? Because she's showing me you need to write down stuff. Okay. So she's journaling your dreams. She's telling me that you should journal your dreams. Okay. She is around you all the time. She's telling me that she's sorry and she misses you so much. She wishes things could have been different. In a way, I do feel like there's a propensity for next lifetime karma, or karma in a future lifetime, for you to get more time to spend together. I feel like this is a massive soul agreement, because there's an incredible amount of love here. This girl is like a sister to you. Are you aware of that? And she was sister to you in lifetimes. Do you understand that? Okay. And do you have any questions about this so far? The other thing that's coming in is the color purple, like a really velveteen purple. Okay. And it's like a velvet that she's showing me, as well as a hat, some kind of like a fashion hat, and it's like a royal purple. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
This is what she's showing me for you. Okay, she's showing me this hat. And if you have anything you want to share in reference to validate with this, so that everybody can see, you can. If you're not comfortable with that, that's okay too. All right. Yeah, she's telling me you got a lot of healing. She's got a lot of healing, and she's also was she around your daughter a lot? Yeah, because she's saying she's concerned about your daughter. She's concerned about your daughter and her healing. So that's one of the reasons she's around all the time. In fact, she signed on to be a guide for your daughter. Has your daughter talked about her? How old is your daughter?
19.
Okay. All right. Because she's signed on to be a guide for her. So she's going to come in and out. And even if she's 19, you can do anything with the magic of love. Okay. Because what they're telling me, she was like a second mother to her. Was she not? Yeah. A lot of times the things that she couldn't get from you, she would get from her. It's not unlike my daughter Madeline with Jennifer. All right, Jennifer, my daughter Madeline, when she can't connect with me, she does some weirdo shit with my sister. You know, like she'll lay on my sister, and they're like fooling around and laughing, and and like my sister can be super nurturing and loving, and let's say I can be nurturing, but it's just different. Do you see what I'm saying? So your friend and universe and the angels and your soul is showing me all of these things. Excuse me. Okay. So she's around your daughter a lot. She's helping you guys get through this. I do feel there's a propensity for her to come back in another lifetime, because there's so many connections and it's multiple lifetimes. Okay. All right. And Libra is the house of 7 in your relationships. And Cancer. So you have Cancer, right? So your seventh house is in Cancer. So you're really, you're super into family. All right. Your family is number one for you. You're aware of that, right? Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but she was part of your family too, and that's also why you have Cancer, and then you have Leo in there, in your seventh house. But you also have Virgo. All right. Your vertex is in Virgo, which is interesting, and that's in the seventh house. Oh, wow. This is really neat. Okay. I feel like this vertex thing, vertex is a place, a person, place, or thing, or something that happens that changes your life forever. And the fact that it is in here in your seventh house, I feel it is her. Okay. And what's interesting is at 1 degree, so it leaves you with just yourself. And you really relied on her for a lot of stuff. Are you aware of that? And this has changed you forever. But all because she's not here in the physical does not mean that she's not around you all the time. She is, and she loves you. She's also telling me something about backgammon and board games. Do you know anything about that? Okay, so note that and log that, because there's something coming in with that or having to do with that. It could be something you do, something that she does with you or she did in the past, or that's coming in, okay? So note that and log that and hold on to that, all right? In other words, just put it over here. When it comes in, you will know what that's about. A lot of times when we get really emotional with these things, and we do this kind of healing work, what happens is we get so emotional that we can't connect to things. Do you know what I mean? All right. And so I do feel like that's what's happening, but she's showing me these little, is it backgammon? Scrabble pieces, where they have the words and the numbers on them. She's showing me these things. Do you know any reason why?
Yeah.
Okay. So backgammon, Scrabble, that's what she's talking about. Okay. Yeah, so she's telling me about this, and then she's showing me like the number 1 on there, like a little tiny number 1, and there isn't like much on the piece. There's like something, but there's a number 1 on it. All right. So do you know about that? Okay. So there can be multiple messages in that along with what you're already getting. Does that make sense? Okay. She's also telling me about tulips, roses, and orchids.
Yeah.
Okay. You know why that is? Okay, so those are 3 things. Do you have any questions for her that you would like to know? Thank you for the hugs. All right. No more questions?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to ask. Does your daughter, the 19-year-old, does she draw or paint?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she do that when she was a kid?
Yes.
Yeah. Does she do that for her career?
No.
Because she's getting ready to open up and blast off with it. I feel like she's the propensity to be a world famous artist and heal and do massive healing work through her art. And this is what she's sharing with me to share with you.
She's a dancer.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she's now a choreographer.
Okay. Yeah. But this stuff that she does in the art, but I think it's going to be on multiple levels. I got chills when I'm saying this. Does this make sense to you? Yeah. All right. So, but she wants me to share this with you, and she's around her all the time, and she's telling me to tell you. And these are her words. You need to quit fucking worrying so much. Do you know what she's talking about? Yeah. Like anxiety, stress, worry, Yeah. And that's what she wants for you. So thanks God for us being free of that and put the best way to be from love. But that's why the Pluto transits and what you're going through is going on with you. It's to release all these massive fears and worry and anxiety and stress. And this is for all of us. Do you see? Yeah. And sometimes while it's hard, though, remember that God always does what is best for us. And we can't see that, ask to see it. Okay. She's also telling me about candy canes, something about candy canes. 3 candy canes she's holding up in her hands. So it may be something that's coming in the future. It may be something that's going to come to you in a dream. But it could be multiple different things. But these are all things that she's identifying with this to let you know that she's there, she's around you. The other thing is cheeseburgers. Did you go out to lunch with her?
We used to go to Wendy's, yeah.
Yeah, they went to Wendy's and had cheeseburgers, see? So that's what she's telling me, cheeseburgers. Yeah. And she wants you to know that she's okay, and you're going to be okay, and she loves you very, very much, and that's never going to change. And she loves your daughter, and she's still a second mother for your daughter, and she's going to be around her all the time. Okay? Yeah. You're super welcome. Okay. There you go. You good? Okay, and you can ask more too if we have time. Plus, you can always come on the internet if you don't come here. If you want to come here, by all means do. That's what the live show is for. You can come here, or you can just talk. You get on the internet too. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Anybody else have questions?
They do, but it is 8:49.
Oh, it's 8:49. Yeah. Oh my God. All right. So Rachel and Jen are going to write down you guys' questions for next week. Thank you everybody for coming. If you can donate and share what we do, please do. And remember, be guided by your heart. Always work with love. Always work with God, universe, love, right? And you always have your best outcome. Ask and you shall receive. And no matter what the storm, God, love, has your back. Okay, we love you guys very much. We'll see you next Wednesday at 7:50, and I'm sure we'll have some more good shit to share. So, and we will also answer all your questions from this past week. And thanks so much, and love you guys. And we'll see you next week. Thanks. All right.